Hello and welcome. Today we are going to explore the basics of Microsoft Excel, one of the most powerful tools used for data organization and analysis. This session is brought to you by Vouch Initiative International. By the end, you will not only understand how Excel works, but you will also take part in a short practical session to apply what you've learned. All right. Now, what is an electronic spreadsheet? Electronic spreadsheet is a digital table used to organize and analyze data. It is commonly used for things like budgeting, record keeping, and reporting. Microsoft Excel is the most widely used spreadsheet. With it, you can manage large data sets and perform quick calculations without struggling. So please, if you have not subscribed, can you do so as we start with the introduction to Microsoft Excel. Excel is part of the Microsoft Office suite. It allows you to build spreadsheets, generate charts, and analyze data. You work with rows and columns, use formulas, and insert graphs. Whether you are in business, education, or just keeping personal records, Excel has something useful for you. All right, let's move on. So what we are going to do next is look at the Excel interface overview. And with that, please look on your screen as we go through step-by-step practicals on how to use Excel and also know the parts of Excel interface. So stay tuned. We are the practical aspect of the lesson. So this is the Excel interface. So you can start by going for blank workbook. So this is what we are about to click is a workbook. Take note, a workbook. So now let's click on the workbook. So the workbook contains sheets. You can see sheet 1. You can add more sheets. Sheet 2 can add more sheets. Can add more. All right. Now before we talk about the sheets, let's look at ribbon. So we have ribbon at the top part of the Excel interface. So the ribbon is found at the top of the Excel window. There's it. The same as that of PowerPoint and then the MS Word. So you can see it contains important tabs. This is a tab, like the home, like the insert. These are all you can see the features. You have page layout, you have formulas. So this area is what we term as what ribbon. All right, we've already mentioned workbook. Now let's come back to the worksheet. What's the purpose of this worksheet? So the main purpose of this worksheet is for us to be able to switch when working on Excel. So for example, we can do maybe we can enter names of pupils in a class. Maybe let's say class 1. The time they report to school, and then the time they leave. That's after closing. And then sheet 2, we can use sheet 2 for other things like their scores. Do you get it? All right, that is it. Now, for you to enter any information, you first of all have to have knowledge on what we call columns and rows. Columns and rows. So which part of the window that is displayed on the screen is column and then the row. So the columns, let's look at the columns. The columns are the vertical sections of a worksheet. This is a worksheet. So let's use worksheet 1. We can rename it vouch. So that's what we are going to call our sheet. So these are where the cursor is what we term as column. You can see, so you have A, we have B, we have C, D, and then in that order. And this side, these are the rows. 1, 2, you can see. So row 3, and then row 4 in that order. So when a row and then a column comes together, so we have A, which is a column, and then 1, which is a row. When they come together,
we get what we call a cell. So we have a cell. So in the exam, they can ask the name of a cell. The name of a cell is what? A1. So let me click here. What's the name of the cell of where this green rectangular box is? It is what? J8. There. So to name a cell, we take the name of a column and then a row. So if you want to, for example, if you ask to enter maybe data in D3, this is D, which is a column. Count down 1, 2, 3, and then the name of the cell here is what? D3. Do you get it? Yes. So let's move to the next thing. So the next thing here is for us to format a text or learn how to format data in Excel. Now let's type Vouch Initiative International. Someone will ask, which cell is Vouch Initiative International? It is not cell C. So what is when I click on this? Now let's click on this one. When I look at this space, you can see the name Vouch Initiative International. So it means the Vouch Initiative International. We entered Vouch Initiative International in cell B2. So let's drag this to make it look more presentable. Now let me highlight it. So before you can format the text in an Excel sheet, you first of all have to highlight it. So to highlight, you place a cursor either in front or behind the text, and then you click the mouse and drag. Yes, and then you drag. So after dragging, you get options on the screen to make it bold, italic, change the color. Can you see the changes? Better still, you can highlight and then go to home and then increase the font. So we can increase the font. Is it not nice? All right, let's move on. So there are a lot of things we can do here, but for basic knowledge in Excel, then this is enough for you to enjoy your Excel at home. All right, so after formatting a text, the next thing that we are going to do is to use basic formulas in Excel. Now, basic formulas, we are going to talk about addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So let's move on. Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Let's start with addition. Now, I'm going to use common numbers. So let's go for 100. And then, so for us to move to the next line, we press on enter. We can use the tab to move to towards our right, to move to the next line. Right, so let's go below the 100 and enter 25. We're going to use 25 for all the operations that I'm going to perform today. Now, addition. To add in Excel, you press your equal to, and then you highlight, you highlight on the number that you are adding, and then you enter the sign, which is addition, and then click on the next number that you want to add. After that, you press enter, and you get an answer. We have other ways of adding, but we are going to stick to that. Maybe I will add that to it after labeling this as addition. So let's do this addition. But the focus is for us to have addition, multiplication, subtraction, and division. So you have addition. So for us to add again, let me leave a space and enter 100 again. And then below it, we have 25. We can use this to also add sum. So equal to sign, and then we type SUM. And then after that, the brackets. So let's highlight this. These are the ones we are going to add, and then close the bracket and then press enter. Then you have the answer. So this is for addition. You can use that method as well. Now let's move to multiplication. How do we multiply? So to multiply, we are going to use the same digits or numbers. 25, then equal to. So equal to, we highlight 100. Then we are going to use asterisk for multiplication, and then the second number is 25. You highlight it, you press enter. You can do your calculation at home to check, and then record this multiplication. So that multiplication. Now let's try. We use the same numbers for subtraction. So 100 and then 25. Subtraction. So to subtract the same way, equal to, this what I'm going to subtract 100. Then we click on the subtraction sign, minus the number, next number is 25. Click on 25, then press enter, and it says it's 75, and we call this subtraction. Lastly, we have division. So same figures, 100 and then 25. So after entering the last one is division. So division, to do that, press on equal to, and then we highlight the numbers that are going to divide the first number, which is 100, and then we use / for division, and then you click on the second number, and then you press enter. So let's call this division. Yes, that is very interesting. So in case you have any questions on what you have on the screen, don't hesitate to comment. Thank you for your time, and see you again in our next lesson. Stay blessed.